This is pure water or sachet water depending on your location, and 97% of all Nigerians drink this water that is trapped in a plastic bag as opposed to bottled water. Why?
Well, there are 5 reasons sachet water or pure water is widely accepted in Nigeria, starting with the first reason, which is sanitation and control. In 2003, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration (NAFDAC) of Nigeria conducted a sanitary analysis on water packaging companies all around Nigeria, and they realized that a large majority of these companies failed the analysis woefully. 57% failed the analysis due to microbial contamination, 22% failed the analysis due to chemical contamination, and 97% failed due to poor labeling of water packages. Because of this, NAFDAC decided to incentivize a new method of packaging water that will ensure maximum conditions for health and control. They came up with a sachet method of sanitizing and packaging water that could easily be controlled by adequate labeling of the individual sachets. And it worked. Companies were quickly incentivized to adopt this new method of packaging water by NAFDAC, and from then on, sachet water started being pushed into the mainstream markets and shops. They dubbed this new form of water pure water because of the tedious criteria NAFDAC gave to ensure the water was clean. But there was a problem. The water still wasn't 100% clean, which leads to the second reason Nigerians adopt sachet water, which is branding. You see, the problem with this new type of water is that although it was slightly better than the last batch of packaged water, it was still shown to be reasonably contaminated. In fact, a study from the University of Port Harcourt, Nigeria, showed that sachet water is flooded with a handful of disease-causing microbes, and even storage of sachet water for more than 4 months can lead to serious health issues.
Not my words, theirs.
NAFDAC knew this, but they were also aware that the general public can survive on a certain percentage of water contamination if regulated. But they needed to pitch the new sachet water to the general public in such a way that they will be incentivized to buy at their own free will. So the name they gave the sachet water, which is pure water, was totally by design. This name, pure water, helped NAFDAC achieve 2 things. It helped in making the general public perceive the new sachet water as pure, uncontaminated, and free of microbes to a certain degree, even though it was not totally true. And it also helped them to be able to track and apprehend companies who didn't meet the standard of minimal contamination using a special registration code they labeled each sachet with. These sanitation conditions NAFDAC gave these companies was labor intensive, so inadvertently it solved another major economic crisis, which is the third reason for pure water adoption: job creation. Now, because of how labor intensive sachet water production was, it created thousands of job opportunities for many unemployed Nigerians, right from the treatment of the water to the packaging and finally to the distribution of the water all around the country. There were several job opportunities.
So you see, even if the water was a little bit contaminated, nobody cared because it was helping out the government and it was putting food on many families' tables simultaneously. It was basically a win-win.
Another thing that aided the wide adoption of sachet water amongst companies in Nigeria was that it was easier to produce. Now, believe it or not, the reason so many beverages you drink cost more than normal water isn't because they are sweeter. No, it's because of the plastic bottle they are sold in. Fun fact is that the bottle alone of your Cokes and Fantas take more than half of the total price of the product than the actual drink in it though. I know, crazy. This is in stark contrast to sachet water, which is by far cheaper to produce. That's why just a few years ago, 1 bag of sachet water containing up to 20 sachets cost the same price as 1 bottle water. Key word is the bottle.
So you can imagine how much goes in making just 1 plastic bottle. Those people that used to see that used to go around and pick those bottles, you think they are mad people, they don't know what they are doing. They are cashing out.
And finally, the last reason pure water is so widely adopted in Nigeria is because it is far cheaper and more convenient. As I said earlier, you can get the value of 20 plus sachets of water with the price of 1 bottle of water, which is just a life hack if you ask me. And it can be consumed and disposed easily at any location and at any time. Although this ease of disposing the sachets has led to reckless littering of the streets and roads of Nigeria with dozens of sachets of water, which is slowly becoming a serious pollution crisis in Nigeria.
The moral of the story is what doesn't kill you only makes companies richer and makes the environment dirtier.